What's up, nigs and niggets? Welcome to another episode of THiNK, where I talk about whatever comes to my mind because that's just how my fucking brain works. Ready, let's go. So realistically, we're all here for one reason, to talk about the fucking Grammys, but I just have three things I want to cover before we get there. One, white people want to be oppressed so fucking bad. White people want just for a second to have a reason to feel like black people are doing them a quarter as wrong as they've done black people for like 400, 500 years, right? But that's not the case. So the movie Dear White People is coming out as a Netflix show. It's a movie about black students at a white school telling white people the rules as to how to not offend them, and it starts off regarding blackface. And now white people are saying that it promotes white genocide, which what the fuck is that? And they're all canceling their Netflix accounts and shit. Like, first of all, where the fuck are you gonna go? Because Dear White People was on Hulu first, and it's still there. Second of all, calm the fuck down. Y'all are gonna use Netflix. Like, don't watch Dear White People if you don't like it. Do you know how many things that are on TV that we don't like it that send negative messages to us? Tons. Get the fuck over it. Number two, I had the privilege of seeing Lauryn Hill in concert at Summer Jam in 2012, I believe. Nas was on the stage, he was performing a medley of his hits and shit, and all of a sudden Lauryn Hill popped out and everybody went the fuck off. Which, Lauryn, that's what you need to do from now on. You don't show up when you're supposed to fucking show up. That's just the truth of the matter and everybody knows it. Why are you gonna consistently sell tickets and have a stadium full of onk niggas and Shea Moisture abusers sitting there waiting for you for fucking hours? You're not showing up. Anytime Lauryn Hill does show up to a concert, it needs to be by surprise. It needs to be like, oh, Lauryn Hill's here. Just so that way, in case she doesn't fucking show up, no one has to be fucking disappointed about it. And then she'll show up and then she'll sing X Factor in the weirdest fucking ways, like, tell me who I have to be to get this reciprocity because no one loves you more than me and no one ever will. Whoa, lady, you need to chill the fuck out. We came to hear the Miseducation because you only have one album anyway, but you're still a legend and, you know, your legacy's now tarnished, but you could at least just perform when you say you're going to. That's the least you can fucking do. At number three, Valentine's Day is coming up this week and no one cares if you're in a relationship and no one cares if you're single. If you're in a relationship, do something with your bae, smash their brains out, and have a great time. If it's Valentine's Day and you're single, you can just act like it's not Valentine's Day, which usually works. You can grow up and just realize you'll get him next time, tiger. Or three, it's nothing a little Pornhub can't fix. Go get your life. Like, and let's not forget the true meaning of Valentine's Day, which is going into Walgreens the day after and mobbing all that 50% off candy that they need to get rid of. Free chocolate, my nigga. Go get the chocolate. Fuck it. But you sitting around being sad, I mean, I don't want to hear about it. So regardless, shut the fuck up. So now on to what really matters. The Grammys were last night, and whoo, shit. So just a disclaimer about the Grammys. I personally have always felt since Macklemore stole Jay Z's Grammy that we place too much importance on Grammys simply because it's white approval. As our own cultural derivatives of movies and music and entertainment, why don't we have an award for us, by us, that carries prestige, and the panel will have knowledge, they'll have cultural significance, they will understand the art form to be able to judge it, and not just give it to, I don't know, Iggy, I don't know, Macklemore. Why don't we have that award? We don't have that award simply because we want that white approval, so we mob the Oscars, so we mob the Grammys, so we mob the Golden Globes because we feel like their approval is the approval to get. I personally think that's bullshit. I don't give a fuck what they think because they're not judging or knowing our shit. But we're here to discuss the Grammys, so here the fuck we go. So Adele opens the show performing Hello, which turned out to be foreshadowing for the rest of the goddamn night. To me personally, it wasn't the most stellar performance, it wasn't the most stellar vocal, but y'all love Adele because, I mean, she's white, so congratulations. Not taking anything away from her artistry or her writing capability, I just personally don't think that her vocal has been great that I have heard for over a year now. But y'all like when she stands on stage in a moo-moo with mom hair, and she makes you cry with the sad-ass song, so mission accomplished. Performance one down. Chance the Rapper won Best New Artist and Best Rap Album, at least on TV. I don't know if he won any other Grammys, but congratulations to Chance. He's been hustling for a very long time. He's still independent. He's just such a positive guy. Like, I tweeted that Chance the Rapper is the literal human personification of sunshine. Like, he's just the happiest guy on the planet. He makes people around him happy, and Chance is gonna have a very long career, so I'm very happy about Chance getting the Best New Artist Grammy and solidifying himself as a person to watch in music. Paris Jackson ever so nervously introduced The Weeknd, which, two things. One, I could see Paris Jackson, I guess, trying to, like, maneuver her way into making music or whatever it is. Girl, good luck. You will never live up to a Jackson legacy. That's just what's gonna happen. So I hope you can make your own lane in whatever you try to do, but leave it to Beyonce, because you just can't do it. People will always say you're not Michael, people will always say you're not Janet. They're immortalized. But she was all skittish and white and cute, and she introduced The Weeknd. Now, here's my second point. The Weeknd's been trying to be Michael Jackson for a while with that goddamn falsetto. The Weeknd always reminds me of, you know when you're a little boy and your grandma pops in that Michael Jackson CD, and so all of a sudden you see Rock With You for the first time, and you start clicking your heels back forth, and you think you're Michael Jackson? That's exactly what he is, except he's doing it on stage. He performs some song, I don't fucking know, but he sounds good. And by good, I mean he sounds like what he sounds like when it was recorded, so congratulations to that. I'm just not a fan of The Weeknd, but whatever. Right now, I'd like to switch gears to the fact that Rihanna was nominated for 7 awards and won nothing. Which I don't understand how that works, being that Work was pretty much the song of the winter and the goddamn summer. So I personally think that's bullshit, especially with Anti pushing the envelope as far as her music and her artistry goes. I believe that music that pushes the bounds of artistry should be awarded by the Grammys, because you have to push the envelope. If you don't push the envelope, you're gonna have a fucking field of Taylor Swifts and Meghan Trainors running around, because they know that they can just do the bare minimum to be awarded by the highest standard. But the Grammys were on some bullshit, so instead Rihanna just sat in the crowd, threw shade, sipped on her flask, waved at Beyonce, and had a good fucking time. So some random white band is performing. I don't really know who they are, so I'm scrolling Twitter or something because I'm like, I don't give a fuck who these people are. And then all of a sudden, I hear the voice of Miss Tina. And so I'm immediately like, so Miss Tina looks beautiful as ever, and she's the proudest woman on the planet, because I mean, Beyonce and Solange just had 2 of the best albums of the year last year. Like, a mother couldn't be prouder of anything than that. She's giving a beautiful speech, and then she introduces her daughter, Beyonce. Here's my point. If you find yourself still in your heart having a problem with Beyonce, you need to address the fact that you have a problem with femininity, and you specifically have a problem with the black kind. Because I don't understand how you as a woman and or a black woman can look at what Beyonce is doing, empowering women, empowering black women, speaking on how she sees women as goddesses, and that the ability to give birth is literally a gift given by God. But no, not you. You still want to hate Beyonce because you hate yourself, and that's completely fine. You need to check that shit. Why your mother didn't hug you? Not my fault, not Beyonce's fault, but we don't give a shit. So Beyonce stands beautiful and pregnant, draped in like this gold, she looks like a goddamn deity, and the camera's panning in and out of holograms, and there's like tons of like black dancers. I don't know who's on the stage. I don't know if anyone's on the stage. I don't know if it's a hologram. I just know it's fucking beautiful. Then there's 1 Blue Ivy runs around her, and then 2 Blue Ivies run around, and then 3, and then 12, and then her mom's on the stage, and then Beyonce's right below her mother, which I love, and then Blue is right below her, just symbolizing that there is a lineage there, and that Miss Tina's always above her. There's so much going on. There's so much going on. It's all beautiful. It's all well thought out. All while she's reciting poems from Lemonade written by the Queen of Words, Worcestershire. And we still don't know if Beyonce is even on stage. I never knew when the hologram ended and when the actual Beyonce became until they show us the Last Supper table. So I'm like, okay, I don't understand what the imagery is here, but you know what? Beezus, you got it. I'm calling you fucking Beezus again, and I don't care who has a problem with it. So at this point, we're pretty sure it's the real Beyonce. All of her dancers are like taking seats at the table, and she walks up the table to this chair. Now, this goddamn chair, I'm thinking, okay, she's pregnant with twins. She needs to sit down. She sits in the chair, and then she starts going into love drought. Now, I have a specific reverence for pregnant women, and I think most guys feel this way, that as soon as you find out you're pregnant, you just need to wrap yourself in bubble wrap and lay down for 9 months until you're ready for those babies to come out, because anything can happen and anything could kill you and the babies. You're just too delicate. So Beyonce's singing Love Drought, making Love Drought sound better, which I never thought that could fucking happen. And that chair starts to lean back. Not like a little dorm chair lean back, but that shit goes way back. Like 90 degrees. And so everybody's like, alright, okay, Beyonce, all because she likes to fuck with us. I don't know who engineered that chair, but Beyonce trusted that goddamn engineer and that chair like nothing I've ever seen before. Like, something had to be beneath her to make sure she didn't fall. It had to be like a Tempur-Pedic mattress, or like clouds that they grabbed from the sky on their way down here just to grace us with this performance in the first goddamn place. Like, they all were too calm. Jay was calm, Blue was calm. They just knew she wasn't gonna fall. Meanwhile, the rest of us are freaking the fuck out. And then she goes into some more of the beautiful poetry, and then she sits down and she performs Sandcastles, and the performance was over. It was the best performance of the night. Beyonce continues to push the envelope, to shove the fucking like, who do you know that is giving you visuals like this, that's giving you vocals like that? At the end of the day, Beyonce's the best living performer we have to offer. And if you don't like it, and you still feel like, oh, but Whitney could have, then you go where Whitney is, and you have her sing to you. But guess what? Whitney ain't here, boo. Whitney can't sing no more here on planet Earth. So guess what the fuck we have? We have Beyonce Giselle, and you could just fucking be pissed about it. So then at that point, I realized that it's only about 9:45, to which I said, wait a god, who would ever think that it would be smart to go after Beyonce? If I personally am performing on anything and Beyonce is going to be there and going to perform, the first question I'm going to ask is, how can I possibly maneuver this situation to make sure I go on before Beyonce? Because I just don't understand how the fuck I'm supposed to compare to that. I'm gonna look stupid, kind of like how Britney Spears did at the VMAs after Beyonce performed Half Lemonade there. Like, there's nothing you could do. No one's gonna care. The energy was picked up to such a high fucking level that my mediocre ass just can't compare. Like, there's nothing that I can do that's gonna be able to stand up to that. But not Katy Perry. Katy Perry said, okay, I'm gonna perform anyway. And nobody gave a shit. I didn't care about the song. I didn't care about the performance. I have nothing to say because Beyonce was still in the air. Beyonce was still in the room. So no one gave a shit. So then Beyonce wins the Grammy for Best Urban Contemporary Album, which, yay, congratulations. We just want Beyonce to come out and collect the rest of her Grammys. That's all we want. Blue's in the crowd. Blue's kind of like, well, she's refusing to touch Nick Jonas. James Corden came over and tried to talk to Blue Ivy, and Blue Ivy looked at him like, yeah, we can correspond, but in order for me to touch you, you're going to have to at least be worth $50 million, and like, I just don't want poverty on my hands, so you're just gonna have to, like, we can speak though, we can speak a little bit, but just don't touch me. So then they announced there's going to be a George Michael tribute, which George Michael just died, so I'm like, okay, I'll accept it. I mean, I don't really know George Michael music or really care about anything that he's done, but that's completely fine. I'll let you have it. So then they announced that Adele's going to be performing, and I'm like, oh, again, wow, okay. So Adele starts off this really dry, monotone performance, and then you just hear her say, fuck. And so I'm just like, what in black hell is happening on this television right now? And then she says, I can't do it again like last year. I have to do this right. I can't screw this up. I'm sorry, start it again.
Really, nigga?
You don't get do-overs on national TV, Adele. You go to practice, you go to sound check, you make sure that you do right. Of course, sometimes on live TV, things go fucking wrong. Ask Mariah Carey. But if your primary function is to be vocalist, you need to be able to be a fucking vocalist the first time. And on top of that, Beyonce just performed with 100 girls made out of pixels and light, and you're telling me that you can't just stand in front of a mic and sing it the first time? I don't really want to fucking hear it. But you know what? I'll let you have it. And then she picks up the song and it sounds exactly the goddamn same. Which leads me to believe that she just had PTSD from last year when she fucked up. Or maybe she just realized that that arrangement to that song was ashy as shit by the time she started singing it on live TV, but it's too late. That performance was shitty, she felt bad, she was kind of crying after. It's kind of like, girl, I have problems feeling bad for you. You don't need the sympathy from me. Just write about it on your next album and everyone's gonna fucking buy it. Like, I don't know what to tell you, Adele. So then Lady Gaga's gonna perform with Metallica, which I'm just like, great, brace yourself for school shooting music ahead. So then they start performing something that sounds like Columbine. And like, you know when you're playing Guitar Hero with another person, and like, you know what the song's supposed to sound like, and you do your part, and then you're waiting for your friend's part, but their friend fucks up and nothing's happening over there? That's exactly what that sounded like. Because whoever the singer for Metallica is, that nigga's mic was off. So it was like half the song was being performed and it was extremely awkward. To which I'm just like, yo, the Grammys is on some shit tonight. So then Lady Gaga jumps over there and like they're like sharing a mic. She's tripping over the mic stand. She jumps in the fucking crowd. I mean, they had a whole rock moment, but I didn't really give a shit about that. I just thought it was funny that the mic was off. Now, Prince and Mariah Carey are two artists that say they hate when other artists cover their music because they never get it right. They'd rather you write a song for them than you perform their music because then they can't enjoy it because they think you're ruining it. But Bruno Mars gave a tribute last night that I think if Prince was still here to see, that Prince would be fucking proud of. Bruno Mars was channeling Prince. I was looking in Bruno Mars's eyes for Bruno and I couldn't find him. It was all Prince. And then in the end, when he like did that fucking guitar solo, when he like made love to the guitar the way Prince did, that shit was fire. Bruno Mars needs to add that set to his tour or whatever. I would pay to see Bruno Mars do that. I feel like Bruno Mars is taking Miguel's spot. I feel like Bruno Mars, if there is a Prince biopic, that Bruno Mars has to do it, Miguel's just gotten his spot taken because that shit was fucking phenomenal. So finally we get to the three big awards, which means Beyonce and Adele are sitting down and they're both like, okay, which one of us is gonna go up there and collect our shit? This is our shit. Song of the year goes to Hello and Not Formation, to which I'm just like, okay. Then they go Record of the Year. Record of the Year goes to Hello by Adele. So I'm like, okay, that's enough. I'm pretty sure that the Album of the Year Grammy is going to go to the Album of the Year, which was Lemonade. But no. Album of the Year goes to Adele again. I'm already mad, so I'm getting ready to start typing fast. But I just feel like Lemonade pushed the envelope of music and just pushed artistry to a point of where it deserved to be recognized by the Academy for that reason alone. And then Adele gets on stage, and Adele gives a heartfelt speech to Beyonce, letting Beyonce know that she deserved that Grammy. Adele is well documented on being a stan for Beyonce and loving Beyonce, and she just really felt bad about the Academy snubbing Beyonce for that, because she did know that Lemonade did deserve that Grammy specifically, and not just the urban contemporary, the nigger category. And so instead of flaming Adele for it, I chose to give it up to Adele for it. And from queen to queen, that was important to see Adele check her privilege and say that I got this award, but I don't deserve it. And that alone, that's a moment that everybody did need to see, so it happened for a good reason. Oh, I am still pissed, but I will accept it, and the Grammys was a fucking shit show. So with that being said, we're moving it along to Put You On, aka Song of the Week, aka, you know what, fuck it, we're giving back to goddamn Beyonce. And right after the award show, DJ Khaled released his new record called Shining, featuring Beyonce and Jay Z. It's got a little groove to it. It's all about Beyonce and Jay Z being the coolest parents on the planet, and they're just happy and they feel so blessed about everything that's coming their way, about having these little twins and then just swagging it out. It's got that feel that Beyonce and Jay Z had a beat. They went to whatever little home studio that they had. Jay Z had his Douce in his cup, because they like to throw parties when they make certain songs, like little small get-togethers and shit, and it just got that good feel that they were in the studio having a good time. I'm gonna link you to Shining if I can find a link to it. I know it's exclusively on Tidal, but I'll find somewhere else for you to listen to it, because realistically, Beyonce and Jay Z ain't hurting for the money. Like, download the shit. And that's about it for this week's Think Tank. If you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. If not, suck a dick! And I'll be seeing you guys later. Deuce!